Hi everyone, Grant for the Flame Learning channel. When it comes to caching and rendering in the Flame products, you have a variety of formats to choose from. You can work uncompressed, which is the highest quality but takes up loads of space. Or you could use one of the optimized compressed codecs to maintain high quality but at a much more reasonable file size. You would determine what to use based on your workflow and the type of media you're using. So typically speaking, it should not be a difficult choice to make. However, you and I both know that production is never as straightforward as it seems. You could be supplied with different kinds of media at all different resolutions and bit depths. The Flame products have always been designed with this in mind, but it may not have been that clear or apparent as to how caching and rendering deals with multiple resolutions and bit depths. So in Flame 2023.1, the menus and options have been adjusted in order to give you better clarity. For instance, when setting up a new project and you click the pull-down menu, you now see all the formats for each choice. So uncompressed will store most of the data as DPX files, and any additional data could be stored as either raw RGB data or OpenEXRs using the PIS lossless compression. This gives a good balance between file size and high quality. The same logic can also be applied to the Avid and Apple codecs. So now you have a clear indication as to what formats are being used for caching and rendering. This leads on to the next question. Why are there multiple formats for each choice? The answer lies in the format details, which gives you the full breakdown. So if you choose ProRes as your main caching and rendering option, all generated media that is supported by ProRes in terms of its resolution and bit depth will be stored as ProRes files. However, if there is generated media that is beyond the scope of ProRes, like 16-bit or 32-bit float, Flame will switch to the alternative format, which in this case is OpenEXR. This is a totally transparent operation, but it allows Flame to maintain the quality of all kinds of media, even if you've chosen a compressed format as your caching and rendering option. Not the most exciting feature, but important to know how Flame is handling your media under the hood. Please subscribe to the Flame Learning channel and click the bell to be notified for future videos. Comments, feedback, and suggestions are always welcome and appreciated. And thanks for watching.